Well, hello people, and welcome back to part 7 of Illium, your modded CS1 build. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Last episode, we got trains and metro flowing around the western coastline, which is getting some really nice use now, as nearly 10,000 people move back and to across the city. And with those 10,000 people, there are plenty of them now that are ready for university education. So today we'll start our first campus. I don't think we'll take it to level 5, as I don't think I want the institution to simply be that big. Eventually we will get there for the unique buildings, of course, but today I want to start working on positioning a very fancy, well-designed, modded campus with some wonderful layers around it by the bridge and the couplet system, and some recent inspiration from a City Showcase episode. Happy Monday, everyone. Let's make a modded campus, shall we? So some initial discussions about today's build. We're going to open up the new tile first. We're going to pay 9,000 for this. If you are playing on console or 9 tiles, I recommend you take the L shape here with your next subsequent population tiles. That's probably where I'll be heading. But we have some layers at play here. Now these are very important to the build. So we've got an initial stack of 4 contour lines here against our arterial, which is absolutely a layer I want to be visible from here, right? And likewise the opposite direction from here, and the ramps from the main bridge interchange are here. And from them, I really want the campus to feel a little bit recessed. But I do, however, still want a gradient up in the campus, because there is a natural hill here, so I want to try and respect it. So to do that, I think throughout the campus, if we have this bottom layer here, and then through the whole campus, I don't want a lot, maybe like another 4 contour lines. So let's pick out that height. And then all of this, we'll push it out to that level layer as well. We'll also move that graveyard today as well. But just so we're about there, so we have 2 very distinctive layers now. And then just a simple case of blending them together. Super. So that's our campus area prepared. We're also going to place our first building now, which of course will be the main one. So in terms of this, I want quite a distinctive setup in the campus. So with our main road, we'll come up with, I think we're going to integrate cycling quite heavily into this as well. So we'll start from this junction here, only seems right. We'll do a single cycling lane. And then we'll draw out some holding roads here. I imagine I'm probably going to also duplicate this junction here, the opposite direction. Let's have a little look. I want to go about 20 units is this node here. I think we'll do that. Just heading in the opposite direction. And don't forget a little pull with move it is also welcome. Cool. Getting the campus in. Let's place down our main building. Of course, we're going for trade school first of all, as is tradition. Now, due to a recent City Showcase episode, like I mentioned earlier, there is also a building I want to use in the tech campus, which I've found to be very unique. The Pyramid of Safety. This was a really nice idea. I'll throw it up on the screen, the City Showcase I'm talking about. But the Pyramid of Safety was in the campus, and it worked so well because it's just like this modern kind of grey, almost brutalist, steely kind of structure. And it's hopefully going to work. It will hopefully look quite nice at some point, right? And I want this to be quite visible. Now, I know we're going to eat into the terrain layer here, but I think we can blend that in. Now, we have a pathway directly behind the campus main building. Is it actually sitting and fitting in the middle of the building as well? It is, isn't it? God, that's rare. That's amazing. What were the chances of that? I think we'll go tree lined here as well, because we're going to have it obviously quite landscaped, since this is a pretty elaborate area. So what, those paths actually hide the terrain layer very well, don't they? Actually worked out much better than I anticipated it to. I think we'll also go ahead and upgrade those trees straight away. I think palms, I'm so happy to see them. California Lanky, I think we'll go with that. Super. We'll obviously have a road running in and around the campus as well. And again, we will keep it cycling. I think I'm going to keep the median as well, almost as though it's there to kind of safety reasons, i.e. the campus is prioritizing the cyclists with the median to keep everyone safe. Even though I guess the cyclists in this configuration are still exposed to the cars, but we'll overlook that. That's okay. Okay, so we do get a pretty intense dip there. But I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all. We could even do some stairs here. I could show you all how to do some stairs within section marking tool. We haven't done it yet. Let's go for it then. So first of all, we want to search for propless in Find It, because this will give us the part life pathways without any of their props on, which is very handy, okay? Then we want to use the in-section marking tool. Now, I am banking on there being an asset I can actually repurpose into a staircase. We want to draw a line, and then we want to turn this line into a prop. And now there's many different props we can use here. The AC unit could possibly work. You basically just want something that looks a bit like a stair. There is props specifically for this on the Steam Workshop, but of course I'm trying to stick to official assets where I can. Just thinking potentially the beehive. Let me try this. I'll show you the process either way. So we want to make them very, very close together. So they're touching essentially. Let's get a little side-on view. So for the beehive, that happens to be 0.8 meters. We also want to change the elevation as well, just so they're poking above. Then we'll bring them roughly into the middle. And they actually do walk down the center path as well, don't they? And then we can just copy this whole line style, draw in the same next door, and then paste it. And also shift them over so they're essentially touching. And then we can just keep adding new rules, paste, then new rule, paste, and then of course don't forget to change the shift of the new one so they all line up. There are assets, like I said, you can get that achieve this, that are like purposely made for this to happen, so it looks like steps. We use it very similarly in Thessia, for those that might remember. And also in a campus as well, funnily enough. And then we can just keep adding these new rules as such. Cool. So that looks pretty equidistant for me. Now this is a bit of a dodgy way of doing it, but we'll try hardest to make it look somewhat good. So let's do somewhere in the middle. Now we can use node controller here, of course, which I think I am going to. And then let's grab that bottom node and then bring it down so it's about flat on the floor of the pyramid of safety. See, I probably should have done that earlier, because now, although actually that kind of does work with the steps, really. Actually, I don't hate that. Okay, I like that. And a bit of node controller and these ends, and then we can stretch them out. That's 161%, so I'll do the top there as well. Cool. And now we have that. So there is some slight clip in there. Imagine now that just becomes an elevation change with the intersection marking tool. Yeah, so we can see where we almost want to pop them back out, right? So we now want the elevation change of 0.9, basically. There it is. So there's your finished product. You can generate stairs. I'll obviously decorate the edge of the pathway as well. Equally, you can just keep the path the same width, but I kind of like the border, to be honest. And then you just get the visual of stairs. So I've used beehives. There's easier ways to do it. Now, there probably is a better prop than beehive in official, to be honest. But you can get some stair aesthetics in anyway with the ever-powerful intersection marking tool. Super. So I'm liking this. Our big building is front and center. Now, I don't think it would be modernist campus of us if we didn't include a monorail stop in here, right? I think that's pretty essential since we've also got it nearby. We can also get it flowing today as well. So we'll go with regular monorail. I want this to touch the back of the campus paths here, so we'll set to the same height as the main building. I think something not too dissimilar to that. I think I'm likely to bob. Let's call in our landscaper Bob to remove these trees here. And then we'll just tuck that in, and that can be made all super walkable with pathways and whatnot. Then we'll also bring in a little bit of car park in here too, where we've got a public transit stop. Let's do a little bit of that. And then let's get this connected in. So this should add such a cool kind of modern vibe to this, right? In terms of how it connects, we could just go for a straight T-junction. Not really sure how the monorail is going to flow here. It's obviously going this direction now as well. So that can carry on to a distance. We should also connect these roads as well. We have a bit of a conversation to have here. Teddy's road configuration is very cool. It's essentially already a roundabout. So I'm happy to keep that. I bet we can even bow those middle segments a bit, can't we? Just to make it look a bit more round. So it's more roundabout than square about. But I'll probably keep that, to be honest. Because that's similar to the couplet system flows we already use. But this is a one-way road, so we'll have to actually upgrade that so they can come in this way. So this road will flow over the hill far away now. I'm just going to connect that straight in, because this will be a pretty key, important arterial road. Because I think we're going to go down to an eventual port over here. Bit more industrial coastline this way. So that's going to become a very busy road, I imagine. But we'll connect it in, and people can go down that way. Now, for right now, I don't know if I want this one to loop back in. I guess we can always add it if we decide we want the monorails to go different ways. But there's obviously going to be multiple different monorail lines flowing here. Cool. I'm also going to name today's campus as well, after our wonderful Tier 3 patron, Discord moderator, and long-time standing subscriber, Minor, who's recently graduated himself and made us all very proud in the Discord. Congratulations, Minor. You deserve it, mate. We're going to call this the Minor School of Excellence. Can we see the monorail? Let's watch our first one. Get an impression of how this campus is going to start turning out here. Amazing. Isn't that so cool? Monorail in the campus, we'd love to see it. Hopefully someone will use that as well. Trams are also an option, but they are more coast bound, so I think I'm probably going to keep them running this way. We will have a stop here for them though. Right, let's actually get back to some campus buildings. So let's bring in our dorms. Now, of course, because we are modded, fusing is now very much an option with the campus assets, which is something that's never really been available to us. Because a lot of Thessia's campuses were repurposed, or we used a custom asset pack for them. And ILOS was a long time ago. So I think I'm going to hire Bob again. Just to remove all the trees. We'll add our own back in. I just don't want the clipping here. I bet we can just stick these together, can't we? And then I reckon we'll do the same thing on the back. This should give us 4. This should probably be enough accommodation for how high I want to take the campus today. And our most natural fusing seems to be about there. And then we'll also bring the buildings level. I wonder if we want to go for one solid block, actually. Totally remove that side staircase. That really makes it look like a sort of another campus unique building, doesn't it? When it's that wide and thick. Yeah, okay. I think we'll go with that there. Let's also factor in the first unique building, which is going to be the police academy. This is definitely an important one. So I'm just going to place this down first. I think almost guaranteed to be facing the interchange is the best orientation for it. Although blending this could be a challenge. Bring it up to the height of the interchange a little bit and consider it here. That's pretty nice, isn't it? Just that glass facing it. I think it has to sit there, doesn't it? It has to sit there. Which is fine. I definitely do want roads reaching this building though, because we obviously have car parks on this, so I think if it's not roaded, it'll look a little weird. Bring that around. I think I'm pretty happy with that. I think I'm likely to just create a bit of a cul-de-sac, or I suppose I could actually bring it down here. Gives me an excuse to have this one, doesn't it? Bring a road guideline on here, and I can probably see some key retaining wall coming into play as well. So with all of our stuff here, I want to set to one uniform node. I think the node of the building is appropriate. And then this pathway can also move down as well. I think we'll do something a bit funky here. Let's come into Network Multi-Tool. I'm going to add a node just on the end of the campus, or the dorms. Pushing that down. I wonder, is this susceptible to node controller when it's tied into a building like this? What can we do with it? So it'd be my green friend I want to shift. Can we offset that one? Yeah, we can. The corner nodes don't move there. That's okay. And then let's change this to a bend as well. Let's bring in the key retaining wall so we know how much room that's going to take up. We'll keep it fancy. We'll go for the simple city key. And then I really want to be snapped into guidelines here. And then keys to the same height. Probably don't need that last little segment now, do I? Keys to the same height as the building. I think I'm going to tuck that just into the corner there. I have to say the availability of retaining walls to my gameplay style is just so nice. How I wish Anarchy would have made it to CS1 vanilla, you know? It would have made the game just significantly more open to different ideas like this, you know? Also going to round the corner of the node a bit too. And I think I'd be happy with that as a layer. And then this pathway here that we've just node controlled. I'd like to grab the campus pathway again. Speaking of pathways, I also want some, I think, bridges across the couplet here too. We'll check that out in a second. So from here to here is 6. Let's repeat that. And then this little pathway will snake up to connect onto the key. And then also follow through that road as well. How do you want to blend this in? Let's do... That should work. So it's probably nicer to keep the whole path segment, I think, possibly flowing down. Yeah, I think so. Can we also correct this node to key height as well? Have we got a bit of sag in here as well? I think we do, don't we? Looks like there's a little bit of sag. God forbid. This road here we'll leave open for right now to accommodate some more buildings. I'm liking the way this is looking here. Let's come back to our other stuff. Of course, trade school study halls are also so important. Now, this is, of course, one of my favourite all-time assets because it has the staircase on it. And I think this would look really nice. Where's the connection here? On the left here, isn't it? Let's have that there again. Possible more retaining wall needed to contain this. We might be able to smoothen those layers out a little bit. But what I am looking for is to have this staircase with probably an airport apron out front, where it just has concrete plaza looking out to that moving public transport space. I think the little green space on the side of the building here, I'd like to embellish that with my own trees. I'm going to bob everything, of course. I think I'm going to be happy with this. Let's see what we can do about the terrain. We are running into the main layer now, so perhaps a bit of soften. It's going to come in helpful. We can also finish that concrete edge on the other side as well, right? Monorail's perhaps a bit low. Probably need to maybe raise that a little bit. People are probably in danger of hitting their heads. But as we emerge out of the study hall, we're hopefully greeted with a very modern view, especially with the angle of that police academy as well, right? Isn't that nice? That pyramid of safety is such a unique visual, isn't it? Using our stairs as well. Standing on the stairs at least. Hello, people. Brilliant. Let's come back to our campus buildings. See what we have to play with. So just the 2 buildings at level 1, of course. Of course, we also have the ability to place multiple police academy, don't we? Interesting. Let's duplicate our block of dorms here. I'd like to have these blocks present throughout the campus, I think. Do you know what, actually? Do I maybe want to give this a 45-degree angle? I think I might. Let's set everyone to the same height as this node. Again, some slight terrain jank needs to be forgiven while we work with this here, but I think it's possible. Yeah, and then essentially box that in. And then allow these paths again just to touch back to our arterial system. where they'll meet with suburb and the rest of the build that sits around the campus. Okay. That should take us over campus attractiveness value. Absolutely does. We'll also pay for the first academic work. Policies not too bothered with on campus, really. And then just the last of the students to also trickle in, which will come with those new dorms as well. Has anyone jumped on the monorail yet? Yes, there we go. Starting to be picked up. Not overly busy. I think we'll also change the line as well. I think just a white monorail is the most modernist thing, isn't it? Lots of white and steely greys, etc. Slightly dystopian, but modernist, so it's alright. So even just in terms of the shape and the position of the campus here now, right, there's lots of different assets. And of course, we're stumbling across lots of detailable space. There's lots of plaza here. I'd love to actually partner some of the eatery parks with this. So speaking of things like the sidewalk cafe present in there. And the sidewalk restaurant also sits and fits. This terrain layer might be a little harsh for me. So I think we're going to go with a bit more simple city wall. Grab the height of our keys, and then we're just going to set them to be that height. And can we bring this totally under, I wonder? I don't mean to be a poet. Yeah, I think we will do that. Yeah, that's nice, isn't it? Isn't that just so powerful? Really gives foundation to the study hall, doesn't it? Fantastic, everyone. Otherwise, let's let things take over, and then we'll be back at level 2. So, not at level 2 yet, but our students are on fire. I think in response to this, we'll build an aquatic centre and begin to expand the mall structure here. I just wait for level 2 to tick over, because I think I do want varsity sports here. So with our road, I want to insert crossings. There's a node here already, so we can just change this to a crossing. And then place another one in there, which gives us a little node control over, but everyone's okay. And just align those so they sit very nicely with the pathways. I can also see a little bit of concrete gap in there as well. We'll fill that in. Then we'll have our campus pathways run. I do have a terrain layer in play here. Up to the top of it, basically. We'll connect that road in there, and probably this one out this way as well, I think. It's an awful lot of very short segments happening there for some reason, isn't there? Probably something a bit weird at point, that's okay, just redraw it there. And then we'll place that there, and then I'm just going to pull the node along, because I do want the path to stay at that angle from those little block of dorms there. It will also turn this into a slope as well, so we get that dip in the road. Our pathway can continue lightly linking up with this road, although that tower bound is a little awkward. When is the next one? Next milestone, so 4,000 population away, just under. So that'll be okay. That'll be a simple completion once we cross over the couplet highway here. Well, that gives more connections into the build. I guess we could also do this one down here as well. Yeah, I think we will do that. That gives us 3 extra connections into the campus. One day there will be a 4th. And then with our aquatic centre, we'll go basketball arena, but it's a bit much for here, I think. I want to have this here. So we'll switch up from our cycling road for a little bit. Bring that across. We're on pretty much the same layer. And is that going to sit and fit centrally with the whole mall design we've got going on? Looks like it. We'll have to factor it off. Isn't that a shame the monorail won't just scooch alongside? Justification actually for another monorail station. I'll definitely have possibly 2 in the campus, maybe a 3rd. As it grows out and behind us in a possible future development. Like I said at the start, I don't want to take this campus area too big. Can I fuse it into the stadium so it looks like you can access the ground from the arena? Kind of. Does it look alright from the street perspective? It's kind of blocking the sign a bit, isn't it? I think maybe over here is probably a touch more appropriate for that idea. But then again, just want to try maybe twizzle the Aquatics arena around, because I actually think I prefer the rear of it. We still get the signage, but I think we got some nicer stairs and the little porch that's there. I think it's a bit nicer than the actual front of the building, isn't it? And if we're going to have it this angle instead, let's bring the monorail to sit really as an extension of the building, right? I think that's what we're going to do here. And then we'll also continue with our grass-lined road to now come up and behind. Those actually don't really need this road anymore there, do I? Can actually even bring that a little bit closer. Though I think I'll actually keep it there. And then we'll do concrete just to push that plaza out. And then we'll have the road that holds both monorail and the stadium. Come around this way. Again, lightly connecting in across the tile boundary with this network as well. And then we'll also push that down there as well. We can probably have some nice node controller angles here too. Let's also get that monorail going up here now as well. Not forgetting to add it back to both sides so it stops here too. That should get pretty spicy when we hit a match day with the monorail. Imagine that'll really fuel some ridership for us. I'm happy with the Varsity Sports building, so we'll wait for level 2. Get some more campus assets in. We shouldn't be too far off now, actually. Yeah, we've hit students. Just gonna go ahead and grab the 2 years academic works. And then we'll get into some detailing. That wonderful campus, which is already looking like our first proper sort of institution, isn't it? If we check out some views from here. How's the traffic doing over here now, by the way? Still pretty busy, isn't it? Yeah, it's still pretty busy. We do actually need to change something here. With traffic manager, we want to do our lane connectors here because they're not obeying the asymmetry properly. So we just want to give dedicated lane connectors so they use this as they should. Should hopefully disperse that traffic from that junction much smoother. Just give it a little watch here, see what happens. Yeah, they're moving nicely through here now. I'm happy with that. The interchange is still very busy. We did have the extra turning lane here. Nearly everyone is turning left, aren't they? Which is quite interesting. It is moving around. But we did mention we will readdress this whole system likely with a major roundabout at some point with a bit of a redevelopment. But otherwise, campus level 2. See you there. And there is our level 2 campus, which gives us some more interesting buildings. We have the trade school fountain, of course. I think we'll place a fountain out the front of the aquarium, maybe even 2 of them. They already connect quite nicely together, don't they? And then this road here will mark the end of the campus into whatever flows down toward the coast on this way. Possibly a campus extension, but don't want it being too big. We've also got our cafeteria, which I think will look quite tasty here. Push that back into the corner. Then here, we'll surface paint this whole plaza. And then have it as kind of detailed eating space at the foot of the stadium. With the cafeteria present. Get some tables and bollards in here during our time lapse. And probably all this will be concrete as well, I reckon. We'll just turn it into walkable space. And we did have a match day during the wait, and this moved about 250 from this match day here. So hopefully as the suburb grows around it, it will only become increasingly busier. We'll see. And then we also have the trade school outdoor study area, which now we have surface painter. I'm not averse to using this, but again, I feel like I might be going a bit heavy on the retaining walls. But I feel like it might be nice, yeah. Because we've got one here as well on a different angle. Is maybe a bit, a little bit much. But I'm making the most of having retaining walls, right? Set both of these nodes to the height of the building. And probably bring it up to the road, I think, actually. Just make that a flush network. And then just redefine that terrain layer there. Or it softens out where that road eventually will come back up. Let's bring that in now. And again, the back of the Police Academy is very detailable. They annoyingly won't connect. Well, then I suppose I could do that, but... Yeah, okay, I'll do that for now, but I will correct that when the tile opens, of course. There we go. Yeah, so we get this kind of view, especially from... It's probably most noticeable from down at the front of the dorms. Yeah, just another angle, another retaining wall that shows the climb in the campus. Yeah, I think we'll go with that. So otherwise, we're in a good spot for some detail. I think there's lots of little spaces opened up for tables, path designs, statues, lots of detail in here around the main building, of course. And also the couplet, we'll carry on our sand pattern all the way down the middle, and I'll get the trams flowing as well in a temporary turnaround point. I imagine another stadium here. What's going to be the option? Should we have a little chat while we're talking about it? It's going to be a Spad Peanut one, of course. None of the big ones don't unlock for a few more thousand yet. Even something like that, you know. It's not going in today, this will be a separate build by the bridge. To possibly tease what Bridgeside Stadium might look like in Illium. I mean, that's not a bad asset anyway, is it, that one? I think this is verging on downtown space though, so I think I do want one of the massive arenas here. We'll see. I'm also saving the peanut ball to go into the city-style campus, which will be a very unique build, but that's probably quite mid to late game yet. We won't need another campus for a bit after this. But let's detail up the minor School of Excellence, and then we'll be right back. Alright guys, let's have a little detailed review, shall we? First of all, we'll start at the transit hub, where I've also added in a little minor university shuttle bus, which is taking some people back into. However, not nearly as many as the ferries and the trams, which are getting increasingly busier every episode, nearly 400 a week through the trams now. And this line is getting busier and busier, with tons of people walking back into, taking the bus over there now. The tram stops here now as well. You'll see its new route as it heads towards the university and eventually into the downtown as well. Carry on over there. I love this little plaza now, right? Love public transit plazas. People scurrying, it's all great. Look at that. It's just so busy. Probably even move more. We probably need more ferries on this line now, to be honest, but it looks a bit ridiculous when there's like 20 of them all running back and forth. But maybe a third is probably needed. And the campus as a whole sits very nicely as kind of the first institution alongside this couplet, right? And this vibe will only continue as we head further and further down this big boulevard into the city centre with our towers appearing on the horizon. It'll just be such a nice view. From the front, we got lots of bush lining and green space and gardens with benches for students to relax in, study, eat, etc. Read perhaps some of their materials provided by a lecturer. Lots of detailing and expansion and indeed walkability added into the police academy. There is a pathway anarchied through here which you can see on the lights. So that they can, there you go, just as I say it. So they can cut through where you would absolutely expect someone to, right? So I really like that, really cute. More detail in green space, the full key retaining wall in now, and definitely I'm happy we went with that idea. Especially from the front of the campus actually, you really get a sense of all the layering as it slowly climbs up the hill, so nice that we did that terrain work at the start to respect that. There's a little section of commercial here with delivery detailing behind the back. Just some of the university city stuff, a Fry Guys, a cafe, wine and liquor spot, of course, all the things students are interested in, such as burgers, wine, liquor, and financial trusts, I assume. All the stuff in there, and lots of landscaping around it, right? Pyramid of safety, starting really nicely. Big shout out to Abdul Qadir for this idea in the campus that we saw in the city showcase a couple of weeks ago. Such a nice idea. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I managed to use one of the more awkward unit buildings quite early. I really like it. Really like it. Over here, change this out for a key with stairs and added a pathway in, of course, so it becomes walkable. Which I think is just, this is such a nice little corner here, isn't it? All the little layers. Just super, super nice to look at. Around here, more benches, green space, and bench detailing with a little expanded plaza using the same garden tiles that are on the asset itself. With the chess club, also on a nice little angle, just facing out from this pathway here, which also extends down. Now with some nice node controller path work going on here as well around the foot of the stadium. And we also added in some car parking and pitches, which is a really nice configuration actually. And a fun way to fill a bit more of an awkward shaped block. This is why I'm so thankful for Anarchy, because filling this kind of space in vanilla, you'll be met with so many little awkward collisions. A bit of move it, you can have some real good fun, can't you? So I really love this space. There's also a maintenance grounds in here too. Plus lots of car parking, of course, for such a big arena. Ended up upgrading this road down to bus pedestrian only, just so the buses can come back and through. And I imagine one day we'll probably have another one stopping as this big residential suburb grows out. We'll see more buses start emanating from all these major transit centres on the waterfront here. So nice to see some bus infrastructure coming in, of course. Eateries and bollards to complement the pedestrian road up and next to the cafeteria. And then this sits very handsomely with some parked vehicles at the foot of the stadium with those fountains. And I will leave room maybe for a campus expansion. This already holds a pretty massive amount, which is over here. Yeah, 4,000 already, and we've not even filled a quarter of it. So probably won't take it much bigger than this. It's likely we'll just end the build here. And then something will sit next door to the campus. But I really like how it's all sat in this space today. It's a really nice flowing space that goes uphill with some really nice designs in it, of course, with all the mod quality of life in there too. Especially here as well, where we've used node control as well, so we can keep this pathway straight whilst maintaining it against the side of the dorms. So I really like it, and it sits wonderfully well, does the mine at School of Excellence. Oh yes, also this tram bridge as well. So we have pedestrians coming under the monorail and over the road, resulting in some wonderful layers, right? And then these guys are coming back to get on the tram, which there you go, they all come over into the campus, and then that obviously heads back to our ferry hub over here. Possibly the busiest transport we've had by episode 7. I know Rannoch had some really early busy ones, but it is very busy through here with people walking around, right? Really nice configurations. And the campus sits wonderfully, doesn't it? As a big just facility of institution, if you like. For lack of a better phrase. Like, it stands out, doesn't it? Because the assets are big, they're wide. Really like it. And we'll see this natural crawl in height continue down the coast as well, won't we? You know, we'll gradually climb up here, higher and higher. And of course, we'll always check out what's going on from last episode like I wanted to. Looks like those traffic manager connections are helping keep this section free in particular, aren't they? And then we also have our metro from last episode. I actually also want to extend a bus line from last episode. We'll do that now as well. And 142 on the metro, with 0 on the passenger station, but there's no internal lines there yet, of course. And we'll also check the other metro stations. 154 from this one, which is quite spicy. We've also got this one down here, which is getting 88. That one's just had a vehicle come out of it. With tons of people immediately heading to the walkable seafront, right? That's what we like to see. Looks like we're in a little bit of a death wave at the minute as well, because the graveyard is full. Let's not empty it. We will just reset objects. There you go. Yes, and then the bus line I wanted to extend was the one that runs through the port, so I'm going to pull it out of the port later. It can stop here, I think. Yeah, stop there. And then you can come up in the suburb and stop outside the med clinic, collecting all these people onto the bus line, and then it doesn't need to stop again then until it reaches the metro station. So that should be fine. Super. The last episode developments also getting increasingly busier, which is absolutely wonderful to see. But otherwise, I'll shut up and leave it there. Let's thank you all for joining me for a wonderful modded campus build. Always so much fun. We'll get back to a major residential suburb, I think, next episode as we expand the Green Cities district of ASUS around the hillside and the bridge, heading towards probably a major eventual industrial port on the other side of this landmass across the hill. An enormous shout out to the YouTube members and patrons that support these videos, with a shout out to our golden patron eggs: Casino, Spartan Angel, Michael W, Bad Wolf, Louis Adlam, Phoenix MD, Jamin, Blythe, and Great Sea. Thank you so much indeed for all of your incredible support. Links down to Patreon and Instant Gaming if you want to help support the channel. And thank you for still continuing to support Cities Skylines 1 content. I am thoroughly enjoying Illium now the city is getting into its swing. And the quality of life mods really add so much more than just quality of life for me. I hope you're enjoying it either way. Enjoy the cinematics, and I'll shut up and leave it there. Well, thank you all so much for watching. And as always, enjoy the rest of your day.